and Dennis Trusty got pissed off at me.
What's up, everybody? We're live. What's going on? We're going to do the late pick 4 at Oaklawn Park for December 11th. That's right. It's me, G. Brown, Don from the Triple Clowns, alongside the Truck Stop Burrito, AJ Ryder. And we have Rich here. And Rich, I'm going to let them tell you where you're at now.
Well, I'm doing handicapping for Guaranteed Tip Sheet and running the site horseracingtoday.net, doing our own stuff on Facebook and Twitter at Horse Race Today, with the number 2, not the word today. So Horse Race, the number 2, and then the word day. You can catch us at the Racing Radar TV on YouTube in about an hour and a half. I'll be live with John Dooley, the voice of Fairground Racetrack, to go over some of the Louisiana Championship races a little bit later on. So been on YouTube all day. I've coined a new word, YouTubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. I like it.
Spell it.
And
someone challenged me to that earlier in the day. I got it.
Yeah, you tried to use it in Scrabble, probably, right?
I have.
It doesn't work. How do you spell that? Could you use it in a word, please?
Yes, Rich is ubiquitous on YouTube. Therefore, he is YouTubiquitous.
Fair enough.
Oh, YOUTUBE
is that's that's not in the national spelling bee.
Not yet.
No kid is spelling that.
Mm-mm.
They may.
Can I have the origins, please? Crazy old German.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the origin.
Yes.
AJ, you can do the comments, correct? Because I might not be able to reach.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get started. So Rich, Rich number 2. I thought that was funny because I have a childish sense of humor. But yeah, absolutely. So Rich is taking on a little bit of a new endeavor. You might know him from formerly of Horse Racing Radar, but he's doing the same thing. So just change the name. So if you can't find him on that, find him on his new thing. He's out there always hustling. James Brown of Horse Racing.
That's right. Got to pay the cost to be the boss, my friend.
Absolutely. There you go. All right, guys, are we ready for this? We're excited for this late pick 4 at Oaklawn Park. If you're joining us on the tape one, welcome. If you're live, welcome as well. So you want to start it out, AJ?
Sure. Well, the first leg of this pick 4 at Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas is race number 7. And it is a $100,000 allowance race. I don't know if I said that right. $102,000 allowance. $102,000 allowance race. We are going a mile on the Arkansas dirt. You want me to start us off?
Sure thing. If you would like, Go ahead.
Well, I only got 2 here in the early goings of this race. And one of them is not the 3, which I would imagine a lot of people are going to bet. But I strayed away because I like one horse that is low odds, and I like one horse that's a bit higher odds. I went with the 2, My Sixth Sense. The coming off the second off of the layoff. And when you look at the numbers for this horse, when you look at 2 back at Churchill, at a mile and 16th, ran a number that is just unbelievable compared to the rest of this field. 121 time form figure. Finished second in that race. That race had gone a mile. Then guess who would have probably won that race? That would be My Sixth Sense. I really like this 5-year-old here in this spot. I do believe it's going to be. I mean, look, it's the opening race, and I love to go deep in the opening race because I never want to be out in the first leg because I don't want to be playing the pick 3 if I don't have to. But I did go too deep, and the 2 is my top choice. I didn't play the 3, the 5-2 shot. I did not play the 6, the 9-2 shot. I went with the 5, Beaver Hat.
Well, how did I know you were gonna do that?
Yeah, well, you should have. You should have. I think we've mentioned this horse on this podcast before. This horse has ran against American Dubai, Necker Island, Tayshawn. I mean, it's been every horse we've ever mentioned on the show. At one point in time, you talk about seven levels of separation. This horse has ran against it. This is the 7 levels. This is the 7 levels of Kevin Bacon horse for the
6
Triple Crown.
degrees
6
of
degrees.
separation.
Yeah,
Seven
I thought it was
wondering.
7.
That's right. 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. What difference?
Six
This
degrees
is
of
well. This horse
separation.
is probably 5 degrees of separation.
Could be 3 even.
Yeah.
Some odd number.
Like
Yeah.
this horse ran against every horse we ever talked about. Bankit and American Dubai, Gunnet, Tayshawn, Bourbon War. I mean that's a bourbon horse, so it's probably been on the show before. I don't even know what it has, but either way, 12-1. Yes, longest shot on the board. Why not? This horse has ran speed figures just as competitive as anyone here. Anyone here? 118 back at Ellis Park not that too long ago. This is a 4-year-old, guys. I mean, this horse at any point in time could absolutely explode. When I look at the last one, Necker Island, Gunnet, and Tayshawn at a mile. Those are 3 really good milers. Oh, sorry. I was looking at like 4 times ago. But even last time out at Churchill, at 141 on a sloppy track, so I won't hold that against him. Bull Luminaire, Major Fed, You're to Blame. Every horse we've ever talked about in this show has beaten this horse. And I don't think anybody else in this race is really as good as some of the horses we've talked about before. So at 12-1, Beaver Hat. I went 2-5 here. That's it.
All right, 2-5 for you, AJ. I'll go next, and I'll let Rich bet third here, and he can correct us. I know he likes to do that. I went with my 6 cents as well. It's a sort of a second off a layoff here, sort of. I know it's been 48 days, but it feels like it's still kind of second off a layoff. It's like a in between thing, second off the layoff, which I always like. Ran big numbers, before the layoff. And now I think is just improving. I can't leave that horse out. And I did look at your 5 though, AJ, but I didn't play him because I just don't know if quite has the speed. But I do like all your angles you're talking about. I don't think he'll be 12-1. I really don't. I think he'll be lower.
Yeah, but when you're the longest shot on the board, who's going to then take that over?
Yeah, well, I think there's a few that are going to climb up a little bit, and he's going to go down. I've said this and I've been wrong a lot, but and that's not why I didn't take the horse. But I have to go with Sona Man because, I mean, when Sona Man shows up, that's a big thing. When Sona Man shows up, and honestly at a mile, if we remember the last time he ran a mile was on the Pat Day mile, and he ran awesome. I mean, that was over a year and a half ago now. But I think this is good for this horse. I mean, talking about a horse that's run against good horses. I mean, Aloha West got beat by Aloha West by 6. I mean, we saw that horse win the sprint at the Breeders' Cup. You look at South Bend, which can fly, and this horse was there near the turn with that horse, which is pretty amazing. I just think Sona Man shows up might just be the best and might be closer than I think to the lead. So I'm going to go 2-3. I'm not going to go deep. I don't mind your 5 here, AJ. There's a lot of decent horses in here, but I just think 2-3 are head and shoulders above the rest.
Do we have like a limit of the number of horses that we can pick, or no?
You can
do
pick
you guys have a
all.
budget?
You
or
can
not?
say all. We just want to hear you talk about
No,
it.
I don't.
Your pick 4 has to be under $500.
Okay, well, it'll be under $500 for sure. Well, I didn't take the 3 horse at all. Sonoman, it matched up against my 6 cents, got beat. He'll remember that, so he won't want to go into that. I have my 6 cents as the 3rd rated horse, but if you look at the record at Oaklawn Park, does have the best numbers at Oaklawn, which tends to be a speed track. If you kind of look back at the history of it, and I remember doing many live broadcasts where we're watching the races at Oaklawn Park, and the horse gets to the front, especially on these days where they have big stakes races like they do in race number 9. They tend to hop up the track. It's supposed to rain a little bit maybe on Friday night.
Yeah,
dry out by the time these races hit. So maybe the track starts off a little wet, but ends up fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in my best James Brown. My top pick is going to be, I have the 2, my 6 cents is my 3rd pick. I'm going to, my best James Brown, and insistence on the distance, my friend. And that is the 1 horse.
Oh, no.
The 1 horse has run at the distance 9 times, got 5 wins, 3/3. Take a look at, 27 races at any other distance or length. Only managed to find a tape 3 times, but is a little bit of a closer. Does have some history at Oaklawn Park where he's won 2 out of 7. Didn't show up for any of the others. But that number at Oaklawn Park is a pretty solid number. And I expect to come off the bench some really good workouts there for the one horse as he heads into this spot. Or is it a she? He. My second pick is the 7 horse, which is Cash Logistics. There's your speed horse, friends. He's going to be one of the horses, according to my pace figures, that will be on or near the lead on a fast track, which I'm hoping we'll see by the time we get to post. The horse has got 5 wins in 8 races with a couple of seconds, some really good speed figures. And if you look at that last race, best race the horse has put together was on an off track, so the horse can run well if the track is a little bit off still. But the horse has improved in its second start off a layoff with some regularity and sometimes some big move forwards in round 2. So I'm going to go 3 deep. I'm going to go 1, Guess Sweet, 2, Cash Logistics, and 3, My 6 Cents. Would it be helpful if I could read my own handwriting? I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
1,
it would be. I
2,
also
7.
I just want to just ask you something about this. So there is a big discrepancy between Indiana Grand and Churchill, which a lot of times those horses go back and forth between. The fact that this horse has ran, like the wins you're talking about, mainly come in Indiana, that doesn't scare you at all.
No,
Because it does me. Because if a horse can't go from Indiana Grand to Churchill, to me, I just don't understand why.
I don't mind horses that don't perform well at Churchill, because when we had Mike Smith on our show,
Well, yeah,
he mentioned that Churchill is a unusual track.
And,
The
yeah.
surface is cuppy, and that some horses just don't like it. And
Mhm.
the horse runs at Churchill. Some, he said, really like it, and those who train well at Churchill tend to run well at Churchill, and then they can bomb anywhere else. So I really, horses that don't perform well at Churchill, if it were at
Well, this horse,
Fairgrounds or
and
some
I'm
other
not talking
track.
about. I'm not talking about this horse performing well at Churchill. I'm talking about this horse coming from Indiana Grand, where I've seen it go to other big tracks and it doesn't seem to ever correlate.
Well, Brad Cox has a barn at Indiana Grand too, and he moves his horses around. It is his, tier 2 barn, but I do expect that he's moving those horses back and forth. This is not obviously Brad Cox, but I'm not afraid of those numbers whatsoever at all. It is training well at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a little bit of a sandy track, a little bit, and I think when you look at, I don't think Oaklawn is a sandy track, but it is a fast track, and this horse has wins across the board. It has the early pace figures to be out near the lead, has some fractions that should put it close to the front, and if it gets to the lead at Oaklawn, it could win.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you have to see the transition. I mean, I remember before the transition at Oaklawn was a tough one, but I mean, it's a new year, it's a new meet, so let's see. The Indiana Grand horses could transfer. I mean, we're looking at one weekend. So let's see. All right, so let's move on.
Well, I mean, not the last time, but the first time I was here, I was all over you for picking what was it, Hot Rod Charlie. So now you were all over me for picking Cash Logistics.
Well, no,
so you could put like cash Logistics on the board. Yes,
right.
Well, no, I mean, look, it's obviously our guests typically know more than we do.
Well, that's not true
And
with me.
well, no, it is
Typically,
typically,
there's
typically.
That was the key word right there.
But when you have that kind of angle, and I mean, I just think I wasn't trying to call you out. I just wanted to hear it more in depth.
Yeah, I need to see more. That's what scared me off that horse, quite honestly. But I need to see more things about it. If we see all the Indiana Grand horses bomb coming over and they're way over their head, then we'll see. If they're getting beat by the, it makes sense. But yeah, so all right, let's go on to the 8th.
All right, so the 8th race, a 1-mile race on the dirt. It is for a 3-year-old to end up, and this is a maiden claimer for $40,000. Randy, do you want to do us the honor of starting first?
Sure, I'll do that for you. All right. I went really deep here, so I'll try to be quick with everything here. The first one I took was and I went so deep that I'm going to steal somebody's thunder. I know it already. I'm going to go with the 8. What is that? Sequel?
Well, that didn't take long.
Sequel. Yeah, I figured as much. The jockey trainer combo is huge. Contreras, the trainer, he's also great second off the claim. This horse is second off the bench. There's a lot of angles I like here, and the fact that the horse is 5-1, I really, really like it. So I'm going to play the 8. I'm also going to play the 9 here, Holiday Ticket. I think this horse could sit pretty, and close to the lead. And I'm going to big trainer angles here. McPeak is lights out on claimers down and sprinter out. And this has those both. And I think this horse is going to sit in a real nice spot. And I definitely think this horse hopefully can get this, distance here. I'm also going to use the 7. My favorite uncle. I think this horse will go off the favorite. He's been sort of a hot ticket horse. If you look at him getting claimed by everybody, and he lands in the hands of Asmussen, who is great first off the claim. Mm-hmm. And he stays on the dirt. I think that's something here. And I just hope this horse isn't a hanger. I've looked at the races. I don't know if he is or not, but could be. And I'm going to take the 4 at 12-1. River Redemption. I mean, this horse hasn't really found a home, hasn't been comfortable yet. Maybe Oaklawn will be the home for him. I mean, ran against good horses. Doesn't have bad numbers, good numbers and good class. For 12-1, I think that's ridiculous. I got to take a shot with this 4 horse that I think could sit in the pocket around the turn. So I'm going to go 4 deep. I'm going to go in 4, 7, 8, 9.
I'm going to match your 4 and raise you 4. No, just kidding. I'm going to go 4 as well. That's I'm going to call your 4. Just a little bit different 4. When I look at this race, guys, tell me who's going to be the speed in this race. There is really not any speed. You only see one horse that has any history of ones on its past performance line, and that horse has been off for a year.
That's 3 years, 2 years.
2 years. But when I look at those workouts aren't so bad. You go back to November 21st, you got the fastest workout of 6 at the Churchill Downs training grounds. A couple of more workouts in there that are pretty quick. I feel like this horse is going to come off the bench and show some early speed. I'm not really a big fan of horses that have been off for 2 years. That's a way a long time off. But when I look at the horse's history, got off to a good start in the first race, got off to a better start in the second race. That was on turf. I look at some of the workouts in there, particularly that bullet workout on November 21st. I think the horse is going to show speed again, and speed does win at a high percentage at 1 mile on the dirt. So I expect the 6 horse is going to get the lead. If he's at all ready to go, he's got plenty of furlongs and workouts, so he's going to be fit when he comes off the bench. It's just a matter of, does he want to run? And David Cabrera is a pretty good jockey down there, too. He usually is amongst the top of the jockeys in the win percentage going for the jockey title at Oaklawn. So I expect he's not going to take a horse that he doesn't feel like has a chance to win. My first pick really is the 5 horse Fan Club. You can't really go against the combination of Brad Cox and Florent Garou. That's his go-to rider. Horse is going to make its second start off a layoff, and it does have some pretty good late kick. So if the late run is what gets the job done, then you'll see this horse find its way into the winner's circle. And when you look at the drop, Brad Cox hits at about 30% when he goes from maiden special weight down to maiden claiming. So it's a good angle for Brad. And again, he got his top jock on top of there. So I expect you're going to see a good race in the second start off a layoff for Fan Club. I like number 7 as well. My favorite uncle. The horse has claimed by Steve Asmussen for the first time. So I don't really see Steve claiming too many horses. So when I saw that, I was like, that's a pretty good, it's a pretty interesting thing to me because he's really not a part of the claiming game ordinarily. And then not only did they claim him, but they claimed him and move up a class. So I felt like there's something there that they saw. Last time out, the horse showed in its first start off a layoff some early pace that it had not really shown closer to the lead. And what I call stepped up the performance ladder. So for example, in its 2 races back at the first call was 7th. This time it was 4th. 2 races back, 5th at the half mile marker, 4th at the finish line. It was 2nd versus 4th. So the horse moved up, and it was the betting favorite last time out. So I expect you're going to see a nice run out of my favorite uncle. And I'm everybody's favorite uncle in my family anyway. So it's kind of a name brand thing. And I also go with the Saquil horse there. That's another horse making a second start, coming in from Randy's favorite track, Indiana Grand. I expect another Indiana Grand invader to just light up the Oaklawn Hot Springs dirt.
All right. So those numbers again, give them to me real quick.
Just right down the middle, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Solid.
Yes. Who do we appreciate? AJ.
Yeah,
Yay,
yeah.
AJ.
I only faded the 5. I know Keith asked that. I faded the 5 because I think it's a curious drop. And sometimes I'll fade that. But you're right. I mean, sometimes you just need to get a win. And,
One thing I'll bring up, we had on our show Steve Matthews from Newsday. He had mentioned, a lot of 20, 30 years that he's been in. There's another thing that I liked about the 5-horse too, is that the class, like where they ran 120,000, that drop, a lot of times in these sorts of mating, claiming what you would call bottom of the barrel races at Oaklawn, if you will, a lot of times those horses, those class horses, are the ones that emerge. So that was another angle that I just forgot about.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Just forget about it. All right. Well, I went 5 deep here.
All the rest of them.
Most, I'd say, you mentioned everyone. Obviously, I won't talk about the 8. 8 is on my ticket, 100%. You call him an Indiana Grand Invader, but I mean, this horse has ran at Oaklawn many times and ran a good race here, way back in March, at a mile and 16th. Likes this track, runs good at this track, trains well at this track. 8, 5-1 on my ticket. Fan club, the 5. What is this? Cox, Giroux, numbers. What do you want me to say about that horse? 3-1, rightfully so. And yeah, he's going to be on my ticket. The 8, who again, I thought Randy stole my thunder on a little bit. Also run at Oaklawn before, has ran well here before, and 5-1 on my ticket. Horses you did not talk about. The 2, Namesake, started its career out there in Santa Anita with Bob Baffert. Do you think Baffert takes a horse into his barn if you don't think that at some point in time?
Only if they eat the good hay.
Hey.
Where they get the right massage.
Look, and I do believe, 300 a little over a year ago, as a 2-year-old, started in Baffert's barn, ran against a run-happy horse, comes back now for the second time with Moquette, and he's got Ricardo on board. Like, second time off the layoff for a horse at this age. I mean, come on. I think this horse might be primed to run a massive effort. This was almost a $2,000 or $200,000 horse at 8-1. Yes. Coming to Oaklawn for the first time, who has ran and trained at Oaklawn before and ran a great number. Clearly likes the track. 8-1. Yes, please. The other horse you guys didn't mention was the 10, Captain Fantastic. Maybe I'm biased because I just watched Captain Bombastic win a race, I think up in Naira a couple days ago. But this horse was very much on my just cut list. Like, maybe you don't play him, maybe play him in exotics. But all of Garcia's numbers, when it's either first off the claim or claimers up, just enticed me enough to think that maybe this horse, who started its career here, didn't do great, and then is now kind of maybe finding its stride a little bit in these maiden claimers. I went with the 10 as well.
All right. So you have 2, 4, 5, 8, 10. So that just leaves the 1 and the 3 that we didn't talk about. So somebody out there played 1, 3 exacta, and it's just
it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
FDIC insured almost.
All right. So, well, let's just say that race is pretty wide open, I guess, huh, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, when that happens, it's usually the favorite will come in when that happens. We go like 8 deep, each of us.
Sure.
So when you press the all button, a 2-5 always wins.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when you single the 2-5, he never wins.
No, I was off the board.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to race 9.
So race 9. This is a 3-year-old only race. We're going a mile and 16th. We are still in the dirt. This is a $150,000 stakes race. Rich, do you want to lead us off on this one?
Yeah, I'm only going to go too deep here, and I'm going to throw out the favorite. And that favorite is the 9-5 Super Stock.
Okay.
The favorite, Flash of Mischief. He's run against Flash of Mischief twice, and saw the backside of Flash of Mischief both times when they hit the tape.
He saw the ass of Mischief.
Saw the ass, indeed. Anyway, it was a winning ass too, but the horse should be. When you look, came off the bench, ran a really good number last time out. I expect that you're going to see the horse run a good number again in the second start off a layoff. The workouts at Oaklawn Park are the only concerning issue for me because the workout there last time out, 60 of 75 at 4 furlongs is not in any way, shape, or form encouraging to me. But the fact that he did beat the Superstock a couple of times, and just when you look at its numbers, I think Superstock probably does have a little bit higher ceiling, but like the average race is not as strong as the average race for Flash of Mischief. So I figured if I'm going to pick between one of the two, I'm going to take the one that's won. Horses are, again, herd animals, and Superstock knows deep down inside it cannot beat Flash of Mischief. And then I'm going to go with the 2-horse Defeater as my only other one. Last time out, first time off a start at Churchill, AJ. So maybe you'll approve this one. Okay. One really easy as the 3-5 favorite. I expect that you're going to see this horse like it did in its second race following its debut, improve sharply. And if it does improve sharply, it should be good enough to win. And when you look at those fractions last time out for a mile, they were pretty solid, pretty swift. And I think you're going to see a stronger effort in this race. And off of the November 10th run, the horse does have a workout, which I like to see. 48-2, pretty fast number. 9th fastest of 69 at Fairgrounds. So I'm expecting a big effort from Defeater. And because of the big horses in the field, it's the most lightly raced one. I feel like you don't know where its top is. So it has a lot of room still to improve. Whereas I feel like the 3-horse Flash of Mischief and Superstock, we know who they are, in the words of Dennis Green. And I think based upon who they are, Flash of Mischief will get the better of Superstock, and the one who might have a chance to beat them both is Defeater. So I'm going too deep.
All right, so 2-5, and what's up, Razor? I know you guys. I believe you guys are doing Fridays.
Speaking
now.
of sharp,
I'm doing two. I'm doing 2-3.
Yeah, 2-3 there, and yeah, shout out to Razor and Razor Sharp Picks over there at Pub Sports Radio. I believe they're doing something on Friday. You can give that out if you want, Razor, on the comments to show what you're doing, because I think you're doing Friday nights as well now, I believe. But what's up, man? All right, so yeah, I mean, this race. Go ahead, AJ. You're next. Sorry, I jumped on you.
Okay, so you didn't play Superstock, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I did. And the only reason I did is because if I had to pick between the 3 and the 4, I just watched the 3 come in behind or come in front of the 4 many times. Now the 4 is the favorite. And for I don't know what, for whatever reason in my mind, I think, okay, the 4 is finally going to get him. And that's what I did. So maybe it's a Carl Broberg bias, but I went with the 4. And then the horse I think is going to win the race is the 1. Last Samurai, who came out of Parks at the grade 3, losing by a neck. Obviously that might have been too much. I think this horse has been going a little bit long. It's been going on the turf. And I think this horse right now, as a 3-year-old, is primed to run a 1.16 miles, which I thought it should have ran way back in the early parts of this year. So Last Samurai at 5-1 is actually my number 1 play.
Mm-hmm.
So I went 1-4. If I get a little concerned about my ticket at the very end, I might play the 7 Ram. But right now I'm going 1-4, possibly the 7.
All right, 1-4. Stole my thunder a little bit on that 1. Is one of my picks. I
love that horse. I love that horse.
I went 3 deep here, and I did fade Superstock. I did not play Superstock. Same reasons. I had to play the 3 or the 4. 3 is my third pick in here because I'm going to give you a bomb in the middle. But I'll tell you why. Because Rich hit on it with Flash of Mischief. He's running better than I believe. Superstock has beaten him a couple times. I think he's just running better right now. His numbers are better, everything like that. I think these horses will flip flop at the betting window at that point, at some point. So I'm going to play the 3 if you gave me a choice of the 2. But I'm also going to play the 1, what AJ said. The horse just keeps getting better and better, in my opinion. And I think he could sit off a vicious pace here, which could be nice for Last Samurai to pick up some pieces here. And I like this distance for him as well. But I went with the 5, the 12-1. Speak of a vicious pace, I think this horse might be one of the ones on it. And really just because you're going to give me 12-1 on Diodoro and Cohen, our boy Cohen and Diodoro. No. I mean, second after Gelded, it's an uptrend on numbers. Undefeated at this distance, 12-1, I got to play him. Too many angles right there. So I got to throw him in there. So I'm going to go with the 5.
Dio and Dave paid well. At one of the Naira meets long ago, a few months ago, but it has not been near, because I've played it many times.
Oaklawn last year, they were fire.
But even last weekend, it did not do well.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to go with them just because
I like Robertino.
I get it though.
I like Robertino off of claim, especially off a claim with a horse that wasn't near the lead, because it looks bad on paper. And then he's told us on, when he's met with us a couple of times, he has specific races in mind when they claim a horse. And I've seen so many times a reversal of, running style with Robertino, a horse that's off the pace. Robertino gets him. Next thing you know, boom, he's near the front and he's finishing. So that's one of my favorite angles with Robertino.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, absolutely. And really, because, I mean, you look at Defeater, who I did like at 3-1. And if you watch their last race, all sorts of trouble for the 5, and he's 12-1. So I do think the 2 can win the race. So when they have that discrepancy that big, when, this horse was beating this horse, I know it's a little longer now. I'm not worried about that distance. Just had a tough trip. So I like.
Well, yeah, that horse has gone way farther before.
Yeah. So it's a price play. It's one of those ones, really. It's not something I think is going to win, but it's a price play. So I'm going to go with 1-3-5.
I like the 5. That's a good play.
All right, let's go on to the 10th.
All right, so race 10, the final leg of our pick 4 sequence. We are going 1 mile and 16th. It is a $100,000 allowance race for 3-year-olds and up, and we are on the dirt. Randy, lead us off.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad I led you off because you kind of touched on this, AJ. And I don't know if you saw this. You kind of talked about this a little earlier.
Okay.
The Baffert angle.
Yeah.
And if you look at a horse in here, which is the 12 horse, same type of thing. 15-1 once again. I want to play a bomb in the last leg if I'm still alive because that's how stupid I am. And I'll probably lose because I'll play like 2 bombs. But there's something up with this. Baffert had this horse, jumped ship or given away. I don't even know. I didn't do enough research to know, which, a lot of horses you see change from Baffert because a couple things. Baffert gives them away if he works them as 3-year-olds and says that he's not going to win the Derby. So here you go. And sometimes they end up being overworked or things like that. It's a whole different topic for another day. But this horse comes back and goes and wins and runs a good race. I mean, they throw him at 50,000, wins in the mud, sure. Maybe this horse is good. And the fact that he was a $36,000 horse that Bob Baffert trained, that's a weird angle that I always talk about, which if you have under $100,000 horse that Bob Baffert takes at some point, he might have a short leash with that horse, but he saw something with this horse because he doesn't take horses that cheap. So I'm taking a flyer on the 12 there because of that. And then you see, all of a sudden he gets over to Dwayne Lucas now, who isn't the greatest first off the claim, but maybe something's with this horse. At 15-1, I'll take him. The one I really, really, really like in this race, though, is the 9, Phantom Dance. I mean, this horse, I watched his last races, really hasn't run clean yet, but yet his numbers are steadily improving. Could be a trouble horse, Rich. You know, there's horses that just find trouble wherever they can, and this might be one of those horses. But he's pretty solid, and I like his incline to numbers. I just think he could sit off the pace here, and which I think the 12 will set. So I really, really like this 9 here. I think the 9. I mean, Palace Coup. I know the horse. Out there, it's a really good thing, Mr. Tip. They're all really good. I can't go that deep. I really, really like the 9. I think the 9 is going to be lower than 4-1. I think people are going to see this, but who knows? I'm just going to go too deep. I'm going to go 9 and bombs away with the 12.
Wow. Well, I want to say you stole my thunder a little bit because I love the 9. I love the 9 a lot. I won't even hit on it anymore because I did go a little bit deeper. And I love the 12 for basically the same reasons you did.
That was my ticket. I'm going to throw another horse in now. Rich.
Yeah. Good call.
I got one for you. We'll see if AJ steals this one.
Yeah, throw that in there as well. It's not the 1, is it?
Nope.
Good, because I hate the 1.
Well, maybe I'll add him now.
But I did throw the 3 in there because I do think Palace Coup is worth having on the ticket based off of numbers that it's ran prior to, and then I don't know, maybe it found stride a little bit in that starter allowance last time out. I get it was in the slot, but let's talk about again the Diodoro David Cohen angle. That's his guy, and look, you got a trainer with a horse like this who's jumping from starter allowance now from claimer to starter allowance now to this level of allowance race. And that's his guy. 5-2. Is it the greatest price to get here? No, but I have to put it on my ticket. And then the last one I'll talk about, it's an iffy. If I'm going to throw it in there, it's going to be the 8, Mr. Tip, with Maker and Santana.
I'm in agreement with you guys on the 9 horse. I think that the 9 horse will be part of the early pace. I do worry about that, though, the right off the pace, the 12-2 outside. When I look back at the history of the distance, a mile and a 16th on the main track, they ran last meet about 120 races. It looked like 76 of them were speed horses. 28 went wire to wire. And there was a very strong inside bias, particularly for the inside 3. And once you got outside of 8, those winning percentages really dropped. So I did worry about that outside speed needing to clear and struggling in the last meet, but it's all a new time. So I do like the 9 horse Florent when you look at the speed. I mean, a fast track horse has won 3 out of 4 with a second. So I like that horse there. I did go with the Palace Coupe. I feel like it's the best horse in the field, but I do want to beat it. I do think it's a vulnerable horse for sure. And then the horse I'm going to go with nope.
Oh, damn it.
I just talked about this angle literally 5 seconds ago. So it's one of a couple angles.
Let me look.
You got a Diodoro angle?
Diodoro angle. Just talked about Diodoro off a claim with a horse that runs middle of the pack that's all of a sudden going to show speed.
Luck of the draw.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Indeed. So I don't know. I don't know if I can share my screen with you guys or not, but if I could, can I share my screen? I can share my screen, right? Do I have that kind of ability here? Let's see.
Asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I do. I know how to use this stuff. So let's see. Share my screen. All right. I'm going to share my screen right now. Oh, darn. That's not what I meant to share. I think you have to approve it, my friend. You have to bring it in.
No one wants to see your porn.
There you go. So this is the horse's only run at Oaklawn Park. Mile and a 16th on the dirt track, was near the front, which I expect Robertino Diodoro to have this horse near the front again. And if you look at that final time, 1:43, basically a 9, if it runs that same race that it ran there, guess what, folks? That horse wins again. Because none of these other horses have shown they can run that time. So my long shot for here is the 5 horse at 10-1. I know I would have liked to see his main, jockey on there instead of Ramon, but that's all right by me.
Yeah, and Vasquez there's no joke about him with Diodoro either. He's got a big rating, so we'll just All right, so that's 3-5-9 for you, Rich.
I went yes, 359.
Love it.
That
All
wraps up
right.
my pick four. I think that works out to like $54 or something like that. Yeah,
That's
54
beautiful.
bucks for 50 cents. So if you're a big hitter and you're doing it for $5, it'll cost you more than that.
Yeah, so that we'll go through those real quick. Rich, yours is you have the correct me if I'm wrong. You have the 127 with the 5, 6, 7, 8 with the 2, 3 with the 3, 5, 9.
Absolutely correct, the Mundo, sir.
All right, so we'll put those up there. I'll get those to Sarah. AJ, you have 2, 5 with the 2, 4, 5, 8, 10 with the 1, 4
No,
with the 3, 8, 9,
No.
12. What do you
No.
mean no?
I don't have the 4 in it, race 8.
You
I
didn't
have
have the
two.
4 in the
I have
10?
2, 5, 6, 8.
You said you were going to go 5 deep.
You said
No,
you
2, 5, 6, 8, 10. Sorry.
Yeah.
2, 5, 6, 8, 10?
Yep. I didn't have the 4.
No, you have the 4.
Maybe you're 8.
Oh, you
looks
didn't
like a
have
4.
River Redemption? I thought you had the same one as me. You didn't?
Nope.
All right. 2, 5, 6.
I like the horse the next time it runs on turf, but I won't take it on the dirt.
All right. So 2, 5, 6, 8, 10 with the 1, 4 with the 3, 8, 9, 12.
No. 3. 3, 9, 12.
Oh, I thought you definitely mentioned.
I mentioned Mr. Tip, but is
Oh.
like an exotic play, but I'm not playing him on my.
All right. So 3, 9, 12. All right. So 2, 5, 10 with the 2, 5, 6, 8, 10 with the 1, 4 with the 3, 9, 12.
Yes.
Okay. It didn't matter. I was going to just give you that anyway.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
And
I don't even care. Just say whatever you want.
I played the 2, 3 with the 4, 7, 8, 9 with the 1, 3, 5 with the 9, 12. I guess if we went common here, we would have the 2 with the 8 with the oh no, we're out in that one. We have to play all. And then the 9 in the last leg. And the 9 in the last leg. So those are our consensus picks. And we didn't if Rich played the 1 in the 9th,
Wait,
or
what's
AJ
what's
played the
the
3, we would have
what's the one that we don't have in common?
the 9th
Stakes race.
Okay, so you do that all, and then you do the consensus for the other ones.
There you go.
One little sequence tip in terms of when you're betting
It's
sequences.
too late. It's too late. We're done.
Oh, we're done?
Yep.
I know. I see the live over there still counting. One little tip for betting purposes. Take all your top picks and put them in one ticket. So if you're playing a 50-cent unit, if your top pick, for example, and it was in mine would be 1, 5, 2, and then 9. By doing your top picks for 50 cents, if all of your top picks were to come in and win, then you double your output, your pay, your cash out for only 50 cents more. So it's one of the things that a lot of people don't do that they should do. And you're going to end up, enough times that you'll double your winnings just by doing that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are afraid of playing like, oh, I'll hit it twice. Oh, no.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, listen, I don't worry about hitting it twice. First,
we're all not Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, sometimes we have to hit things twice.
I worry about playing my ticket and then hearing like someone like Rich say that they like the horse I didn't like, and all of a sudden I'm like, my ticket is like $30 more. Because I don't think I should not play.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, we do these shows and everything. We give our best thing, and I think it's just like when somebody asks you a question on, do you like my hair? They just want reassurance that you like their hair. Right. I don't think you really. I just hope to just make people look a little more.
That's not true.
That's
people
great,
on Twitter are already coming after off the rail, and we just hit a pick 5 a couple of weeks ago. And what have you done for me lately? All of a sudden, they're coming at me.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. I'll like him even more if he's a winner.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and you're going to look really smart when he's a winner. I mean, I
do look smart no matter what. I'll throw my glasses on next time so I can lift my IQ by a few too.
Yeah, my ticket's already higher.
Check this out, guys. Look at this angle when it comes in. It's great. When it doesn't, you just whatever. But no, but that's David. That's that's great because that's why we it kind of makes you read into things, and we do that. And it's one of those things that, sometimes it costs our ticket more, but we'll be more apt to hit it if it's an angle.
We've had more people come up to us on Twitter on the Off the Rail show, whether we're doing Delaware or parks or whatever, and they always say like, well, everyone seemed to they talked me into this horse, and that's the horse that they didn't have prior to, and then they hit the ticket. And we don't is the sad part.
Well, because somebody they liked was on the fourth race. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. But anybody questions out there, let us know. We're gonna get going in a couple minutes. But Rich, you got to go do a show in a minute. Tell everybody about your show you're doing so they can.
Yes, we'll be on with the voice of Fairgrounds, John Dooley, to talk a little bit about the Louisiana Championship races. You'll find that over at Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube, so you can look it up, or you can follow us on Facebook at Horse Race, the number 2 day. So Horse Race Today. My partner in crime over there, Sean, will be socializing when we're about to start. He does it all the time on Facebook, Twitter. We don't do Instagram or TikTok yet because neither one of us know how to take pictures or dance. So we'll be on to that a little bit later, I guess. So we'll do that. And you can also find it. We'll post the replay over at horseracingtoday.net. That's easy to spell. And you can check it out over there. We put up a lot of good information. And then there's actually a Q&A over there right now with John Dooley, which is a pretty good read. He hated Jim Boeheim growing up. He went to St. John's during peak Big East.
So he
Chris
liked
Mullins was
Louis
the
Carlissimo. Was it Carlissimo? No, that was PJ Carlissimo. It was who's the guy that wore the sweater?
Jim Boeheim was the guy from Syracuse back then.
No, I'm talking about the St. John's guy.
Rolly Massimino.
No.
No, Jimmy Carseca or whatever his name was. Carneseca.
Yeah, the guy with the sweater, the little guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Lou Carneseca.
Jimmy Lou. What's the difference?
Yeah. Who else would be like coaching St. John's in New York besides Lou Carneseca?
Yeah. Especially in the 80s.
There it is, Lou Carneseca. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, he always wore the sweatshirts. I remember that. See, we're showing our age right now.
Sweaters.
It wasn't Bill Belichick. No idea what you guys.
Yeah,
sweaters.
Sweater. Yeah, the funny colored sweaters. Yep. The feeder in the ninth is going to skip on by. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see, people are loving my picks today.
I know. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they love them Sunday.
Probably not. I'll be getting all the hate mail. You suck.
Well,
that's
us every Sunday.
Well, when you do these shows, you do get I have to say that 95% of the feedback is back, and every now and then we get some Yahoo whose life must be miserable and gives us a hard time, and I try to kill him with kindness.
Yeah, it's at Troy McClain guy. Usually, he's the biggest.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not hitting a pick 4, pick 5, it ain't any higher rate than what any of these shows are doing, don't at me. Don't at me, bro. I don't care.
Well, you know what's funny? I feel like, when you watch a lot of things out there, and I'll just say it's like everybody's always winning. And I don't believe that. Because everybody would be rich.
Everybody can't be me.
Wealthy. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, hey, we take our losses, we give it an angle. That's all we can do. We try to, I guess, say why we picked the horse, and you agree. Does it always work? No. But I think more times than most it does, but we're by far 80%ers. I mean, that's just silly.
Well, these sequential races are the hardest to hit. That's why they get and they're really, if you think about them, they're probably not the most value bets you're going to get because of the takeouts. And so just if there's 10 horses in every field, there's 10,000 possibilities, right? 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So there's only one ticket out of 10,000 combinations that's actually going to win. So that's why you have to have multiple races.
I mean, look, I went 8-1 in the NFL last week. 8-1, which is incredible.
But you didn't hit a parlay because the one killed you.
No, does anybody care? No. When I go 2-7 next week, will people let me know? Yes, they will.
No,
I don't go 2-7.
That's just life.
Well,
yeah.
I can't make 9 bets, but I'm actually hitting about 63% on the NFL this year.
I mean, I give them out because we do the show, and when I say something, I want to get behind it. And do I bet everything I do on the NFL? Well, yeah, I do. But still, 8-1 won the weekend, which is awesome. I made a lot of money.
Against the spread,
but if I go 4-6 this weekend,
okay,
all I'll get is like Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know,
You're
what
a
I mean?
bad guy
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, I used to work as a stockbroker, and this is how I found I learned to define things.
Yeah.
Everything measures by risk. So I can make a recommendation.
Yep.
And if the client takes it, he says, "Oh, I'm glad I took it. I didn't take a whole lot of risk if it makes money." Right.
Right.
If it doesn't make money, then why did you tell me? So he takes credit for the winners and doesn't think it's a lot of risk. If it goes down and they lose money, why did I listen to you? And no matter if it's down $50 or $50,000, I took way too much risk. So the winners have no risk. They take the credit. You get the blame for all the losers, and no matter what, too much risk.
Yeah, it's a coach on a basketball team. I mean, you know, when they win, it's all about the players because there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
When they lose, it's the coach's fault.
Well, I mean, like I parlayed the afternoon games together 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row they've hit. For, you know, if you're looking at like, you know, four against the spread bets, I mean, it's like what? 5-1, 4-1. No one cares.
No.
The moment you try to bet like the Bucks minus 18 against the Jets, and the Jets cover on a last-second touchdown, and all of a sudden it's like, well, you suck.
No doubt. All right, we're going to wrap it up, everybody. So thank you for watching. AJ, you do have your shows coming up this weekend with the NFL, and you're doing college this weekend. There's no college, right?
No
Some
college.
games.
Well, we got the game. We got the Army Navy
Navy
game
game,
on
yeah.
Saturday.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to talk about it because I hate service games. I hate them more than anything in the entire world. So
And let's make
refuse
this
to bet it.
clear: he doesn't hate people in the service.
I don't hate the armed forces, but I hate the armed forces
Yeah.
games more than
This could
anything.
get
there
twisted
is.
around real quick. This is why. This is why they come after you.
Yeah, probably. 100%.
Who cares? Let them come.
Yeah, I watch it.
We'll knock them
but I
down,
can-
just like
but
at
I'm-
the
yeah.
that fair with those guns. Ding, 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 ding. Not that we're using guns or anything. Just
once again,
it's
we're going
it's
to cut
just
the
the
show off.
visual,
Jesus, this is
folks.
going a bad
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
No, but so AJ's got that coming up. We're going to be doing a couple things. We do our weekly show, obviously on Mondays. Check that out. I believe we're going to be doing another before Christmas. I believe we're going to be doing another Triple Clowns Time Machine, which should be pretty cool. If you haven't checked out the Easy Goer Sunday Silence one, check it out. It was pretty fun. And yeah, so we'll be around. You're
Off
not
the
gonna
rail
miss that.
Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, off the rail. Yep, these guys are doing two. What are you guys doing this week? Do you know?
Not a clue. That's all up to Tom.
It's probably Tampa. I'm guessing something like that.
Tampa, Parks, or something. I don't know.
Well,
I
Tampa
just
doesn't
show
run
up.
on
I
Tuesday,
just
so it
show
can't be
up.
Tampa.
No,
well,
but they do it for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, they do it for Wednesday. All right.
Yeah, Rich,
So-
why have you not been off the rail?
No one's asked me to be on the rail.
Yeah,
so,
what are we
I don't
doing,
know.
Tom?
Tom don't like
God
me,
damn.
I guess. I don't know what.
Yeah, it must be that.
Must be
Tom,
Tom,
if
and
you're out
Tom
there,
doesn't
real
like Rich and
nice.
Rich.
Get Rich on Off the Rails. Well, you guys are pretty booked right now. You got Turf Paradise guy asked to be on the show. I know that. The voice of Turf Paradise there.
All news to me. I have no idea. I show up on Tuesdays, and that's what I do.
I just work here.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it's not part of my job. Like one of those people. You take
Mhm.
out the trash for me? It's not part of my job description.
Not in the description. That's all up to Tom.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. For me, G. Manuel Johnson, and truck operator AJ Ryder, and our friend Rich. It's doing his new thing, so make sure you check that out. Definitely. Just if you followed him before, which you probably did, just transfer over to follow him on his new thing. And yeah, so yeah. But yeah, and thank you everybody out there, Keith, the rest, David, everybody else out there that
Razor.
commented, Razor, everybody, Tom, awesome. Thank you for watching, and good luck on all your betting.
Let's hit this fucking ticket, right? Let's
Yeah.
go. One of us.
Twice.
2 times
One
over.
of us, we got enough covered. See you later, everybody.
Adios.